This is Tech in Motion's Wearable Fashion Show, an offshoot of the New York Fashion Show where designers show off what the future of fashion is going to be. Until now, we've only heard about how tech companies can make more fashionable products. Is the Pebble Steel's design the best for a smartwatch? Can Nike make its Fuel Band even sportier? Will Google Glass ever look normal? But while everyone has been focusing on the consumer electronics world, the fashion industry has been playing. We saw jackets and bags outfitted with tracking sensors that would alert you if you forgot something. These come from the up-and-coming designer Asher Levine, who's worked for the likes of Beyonce and Lady Gaga.
I collaborate with different technology companies and integrate their technology into, various products that we make here. I'm inspired by biology and nature, and as you can see, the inspiration is grenade meets reptile, and then it integrates a phone halo tracker device, and what it is, it's a chip that tethers to your phone via Bluetooth. If you walk away from your bag or your bag gets stolen, your phone will beep. And if you can't find your phone, then you just use the chip to beep to your phone to find your phone.
In addition to mood-enhancing garb, we saw 3D printed shoes that, yes, you can actually walk in. Some designs were rather extravagant, with the fluidity only possible from 3D printing, while others just look like your basic department store shoe. But many of the best designs are the most subtle, like Ministry of Supply's classic business wear. Its special fabric acts like a battery, absorbing and releasing heat depending on the environment, but it looks and feels just like your favorite dress shirt. Some of the biggest ways that fashion can use technology won't be so obvious or outward-facing. It's integrated sensors and 3D printing detailed patterns. It's technology not as the final product, but as the toolbox from which ideas can come from, and designers can now experiment and produce these faster and cheaper.
The key has evolved. With Kivo from Kwikset, now your smartphone is your key. So you have one less thing to worry about. It's making our lives a little better, smarter, evolving to fit your lifestyle. No smartphone? No problem. With Kivo's included key fob, just touch to open. Kivo has been engineered to maximize security. It detects if you're inside or outside the house before granting access to help prevent unauthorized entry. It uses multiple levels of encryption and comes with Kwikset's smart key cylinder for added peace of mind. Knowing you can always use a traditional key. Get notifications at your fingertips. Know when they enter or exit and who they are. Send an electronic e-key to family, service providers, or visitors. All with Kivo's mobile app. And no matter how you use it or who uses it, life just got a little easier. From sendable e-keys to total control and feedback of your door's access.
Hi, I'm Patrick Albrecht, and I run 3 restaurants in Atlanta, Georgia. My father is my business partner, my best friend. Things he taught me was the classic cuisine. What I've taught him is how we can actually use technology. It's a neat relationship, I always say, between old school and new school. So when we first got Evernote, it took the place of sticky notes. But then we grew from there, of course. We realized there's shared accounts. I can now be off-premise, find some produce, and our chef can see it on his phone instantly. We put everything into Evernote, and the invoices just go in the trash. I don't need to store them anymore. I have a digital copy of everything that comes through the restaurant. We just built a new restaurant, the Vinings Fish Company, and every step of the way, I used Evernote to document lighting, wiring, pricing of different vendors. We took pictures of furniture, of food items, and I put the whole restaurant together in Evernote. At the rate we're going to eventually become paperless and not have invoices stacked in my closet, I could not imagine my life without Evernote. Now when I do the next restaurant, I have all the notes from the last restaurant, and I know to go step by step through Evernote to put the restaurant together. I'm Patrick Albrecht, and I work with Evernote.
Welcome to Voxer, a live messaging app for your smartphone. Live messaging is simple. Just pick a friend, then push the talk button to send a Vox. Everything you say is streamed live, and if the person you're talking to is already in the app, they'll hear you Vox as you're speaking.
Yeah, that sounds great. Thanks for doing that.
You can also Vox a group of friends. And alongside voice messages, you can send text, photos, and even share your location. All of your Voxes, photos, and messages will be saved so you can check them whenever you want. You can use Voxer wherever there's a cell network or Wi-Fi, so Voxer works great all over the world.
Connectivity is the idea to connect all your home appliances via WLAN in the kitchen and in the washing machines, and to control all the appliances via an app with your smartphone or your tablet PC. This is the overview page where you can find all your appliances and the quick status of these appliances. So for example, if you left the house, you can control if all your appliances are off or on. And if you want to, you can have a quick access and can switch off the appliance if it's still on and you don't want it, or you forgot to switch it off at home. Another thing is the recipes. We have an overview of all recipes. We have from Siemens for the oven, for example. And if you are not at home and you don't know exactly what you have in the fridge, you are now able to have a short look at your fridge. So the fridge makes a photo of every time if you open the door and close it again. And then you can choose the ingredients you want to cook. So for example, we choose the paprika at the moment, so we can search for recipes which include paprika. And then we can take a recipe, switch through the explanation how to cook it, or make a list for shopping. And you see here that, for example, the paprika is not there anymore because you already have it in the fridge, so you don't have to shop for it. So if you are now at home, have bought everything, you don't want to cook and have your fingers all the time on the tablet, so that the tablet will get dirty from the fingers from the cooking. So you can switch from the tablet PC through the appliance, through the board, and you can walk here through the recipe and cook here directly on the table. You are also able to have a look at the ingredients, what you need for the recipe. And if you are fine and you prepared everything, you can send the program specially for this recipe directly to your oven, so that you just have to take the stuff you prepared and put it into the oven and press start. And the program, especially for this recipe, will start and follow so that you get a very well prepared food.
Okay, blast. Take a picture.
what you see in science fiction, tech fiction, is very quickly becoming possible. If you point the structure sensor out into the world, you're capturing the world. It's like giving some sort of a superpower to average Joe devices.
What if you could give your mobile device a new sense? The ability to not just capture the world in two-dimensional images, but to actually understand it in 3 dimensions. The structure sensor does just that. It's the world's first 3D sensor for mobile devices.
What I really am excited about with the structure sensor is it makes it so easy. You can clip it to a mobile device and walk around your world, basically pull your world into a digital form.
My name is Jeff Powers, and I'm a founder of Occipital. We're passionate about giving devices the ability to see and understand the world around them. This isn't about taking pictures. It's about computer vision and interaction. We call it spatial computing. It's much bigger than just us, and it's going to change the way we interact with the world. Let me show you what you can do with it. You'll be able to capture every dimension of an entire room in a matter of seconds. And you can send a model to your phone so you can get any dimension you need at any time. You'll be able to easily capture and send 3-dimensional objects across town or across the world and make decisions together even when you're apart.
And that's where 3D printing gets really, really interesting, right? When suddenly you had a 3D printer that was open source, the parts for which could be made on another 3D printer. Or the same idea here, which is for a CNC machine, which is like a large printer that can cut sheets of plywood. What these technologies are doing is radically lowering the thresholds of time and cost and skill. They're challenging the idea that if you want something to be affordable, it's got to be one size fits all. And they're distributing massively really complex manufacturing capabilities. We're moving into this future where the factory is everywhere. And increasingly, that means that the design team is everyone. That really is an industrial revolution. When we think that, the major ideological conflicts that we inherited were all based around this question of who should control the means of production. And these technologies are coming back with the solution, actually, maybe no one, all of us. And we were fascinated by what that might mean for architecture. So about a year and a half ago, we started working on a project called WikiHouse. And WikiHouse is an open source construction system. And the idea is to make it possible for anyone to go online, access a freely shared library of 3D models, which they can download and adapt in, at the moment, SketchUp, because it's free and it's easy to use. And almost at the click of a switch, they can generate a set of cutting files, which allow them, in effect, to print out the parts from a house using a CNC machine and a standard sheet material like plywood. And the parts are all numbered, and basically what you end up with is a really big IKEA kit. And it goes together without any bolts. It uses wedge and peg connections, and even the mallets to make it can be provided on the cutting sheets as well. And a team of about 2 or 3 people working together can build this. They don't need any traditional construction skills. They don't need a huge array of power tools or anything like that. And they can build a small house of about this size in about a day. And And what you end up with is just the basic chassis of a house, onto which you can then apply systems like windows and cladding and insulation and services based on what's cheap and what's available. Of course, the house is never finished. We're shifting our heads here, so the house is not a finished product. With the CNC machine, you can make new parts for it over its life, or even use it to make the house next door. So we can begin to see the seed of a completely open source, citizen-led urban development model potentially.